liver failure. Dr. Gina went to get her some Banamine.
Once she gets up, she's fine. She's just, she gets down and can't get back
She's got
up.
icteric. See this right here?
A what?
She's in liver failure.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll run some blood work, but
Her body's shutting down. That's why she
You're
can't.
the woman I need to talk to anyways, right?
Probably.
Do you want me to pull this up out of the way? What do you want to do?
I don't want her to get stepped on, but I'll give her some pain meds right now. It takes about 10 minutes to kick in. Maybe that'll help her get up.
I have another syringe if you want to get quiet.
Yeah.
We want us to have coffin.
Help her twins. She's icteric here too, so she's yellowing. But look at her scale.
So what's going on, Dr. Liddy?
So this horse has pretty severe icterus. It indicates that the liver is shutting down. I don't want to cause her more distress. She's got her eye open in the bright sun, but she's obviously very weak, and so she has indications of organ failure. We just pulled blood. We're going to run a chemistry and try to see, but she tried a couple times and just wasn't strong enough to get her legs up under.
Celery.
So a catalog.
Her heart rate's 92.
Her heart rate is 92. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's with Banamine.
Yeah. So we had a really, really sad case during our last buyout. Cricket was a 27-ish year old mare, and she came on the big, huge semi-truck. She was in the back compartment, and she had fallen down in the trailer, looked like she had been down for a really long time. The drivers and I had differences of opinion on how to get her up and how to approach it. She was obviously in respiratory distress. She had obvious signs of icterus, so the whites of her eyes were very yellow, her mucous membranes were yellow. She was in such horrible shape that I just kind of like ran in and gave her IV pain medication before doing anything else. Part of that was because the drivers were actively, forcibly trying to get her to get up. Her heart rate with Banamine on board was 88, which is severely elevated. She wasn't able to stand getting off the trailer, and the men who brought her to us dragged her body out of the trailer. It was really difficult to watch. We try to be respectful and have professional relationships with other people and not create animosity. So we did the best we could in that moment to provide care for this animal in critical shape. She had this sweet pony mule friend who was obviously very concerned about her, who was in the same compartment with her. So Cricket was in really horrifically bad shape. Come on, Mama, come on. Good girl, you got it. You got it. Good girl, there we go. She's got her leg under the trailer now. Can you give us another try? Come on, let's get you sternal. There we go. Good girl, good girl, good girl. There we go.
Yeah, that totally was not on good at all.
That's okay.
Is this a good bucket?
Yeah. You want some water? Let's get her right over here. Okay, great. I'm not sure if we have a stall.
Yeah, the baby is still in the stall.
Are you neurologic?
It's also lame. I mean,
Yeah.
she sounds lame anyway. Just walking
I'm
weird.
sorry, big girl. She's so thirsty. So we were able, about 10 minutes after she was dragged off the trailer, to get her on her feet. She had a pretty swollen right hind leg, and she also had some signs of neurologic disease. Her facial muscles were deviated to the side. She was clearly very painful, and her heart rate stayed very elevated.
Her blood work, when I came down here and ran it while they were triaging her up in quarantine, just to kind of give the results as quickly as possible, she was severely anemic. Like the lower end of the range is 6.8, and she was below 5, so she's at 4.76, so it was really, really low. And then she had really elevated icterus. Like some of the values on the chemistry wouldn't read, it just said icterus. So she had severe either liver damage or liver failure or something going on with her liver. It was really concerning, but we also saw the evidence of that, and that will make you feel so bad when that's happening. So poor girl, she just had a lot internally going on that was causing her to be so painful and weak on the outside.
He's really bad.
All right, so these guys will be our next numbers.
Oh goodness.
Hi, sweet boy. Can I see your face?
She'll ride, the gray horse will ride, walking up right here will ride. That sorrel mare was a Western Pleasure mare 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The one with the white on his hip for a ride. And everything that I'm doing is pretty much ride. Like today, we got this thing and left.
I'm continuing. So these guys are both going to round 10. This one looks like some pain meds on board. Do you like banana flavor, sir? Get you some pain meds. You're a good boy. You're a very good boy. Yeah, I'm sorry. This little donkey is actively foundering in both his front feet. See how he's leaning back and he's really painful? He is buddies with this mare who was down in the trailer.
We wanted to talk about Cricket's little friend Snowboat, the little white mini mule guy, who was probably around 30-ish years old based on his dental exam. He was also severely painful and also very bonded and worried about Cricket. Watching him walk was very painful for us to watch. He had some deformities, like he was club-footed, but he was so painful. He was a grade 4 out of 5 lame on his walking, and he had bounding digital pulses, which shows that they have pain in their feet, and he was very back on his haunches. So he was trying to relieve pressure and pain on his front feet, which he was unable to do. So even with pain meds on board, he was also so painful that we would have to probably give him some really major opiates and have him like really gonked out to keep his pain under control. So that's just no life for him to have. And with his friend also being in such poor condition.
Yeah. He was obese with fatty deposits too, so he was likely an end-stage metabolic disease case. It feels like every time we talk about metabolic disease and founder, it's a death sentence for these animals. In reality, these diseases can be managed with medications and husbandry changes, in a lot of cases, for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, the cases that we see here at Horse Plus that get dumped into the slaughter pipeline, almost all of them are end stage. Once they have sinking and rotation of the coffin bones, there's nothing that can be done. I used to work at a university referral, really incredible organization with equine surgeons, and when we had founder cases and they started sinking and rotating, without exception, we elected euthanasia because it's a horrifically painful disease. So the moral of that story is if your horse has a founder case, immediately call your veterinarian. There are things that we can do, but once that coffin bone has rotated and sunk, there is no longer anything that we can do. These guys are a really tragic example of animals that kind of look like they might be okay, but on closer look, both of them have a lot of really significant problems. This sweet boy is at least 30 years old, and he's got a lot of classic signs of metabolic disease. He has these big crusty fat deposits over his tail head and his neck, and he's got active pounding digital pulses. If we had a radiograph equipment, we would take x-rays of his feet, but you can see how severely angled they are, and if you watch him, he keeps rocking back that classic sawhorse stance to try to get weight off of his front feet. So he's really painful. He had a lot of pain meds. This mare was down in the trailer, and pretty horrible. The shippers just kind of dragged her off. She had been down in the trailer for a couple hours. She has severe icterus, so kind of like babies when they get jaundice. Icterus in an older animal is one of the hallmark signs of end-stage liver disease. And so she clearly has something major going on. Her heart rate was 92. It's only come down to 88 with IV pain medications that were given close to 15 minutes ago. So she doesn't look to be in horrible body condition, but if you look underneath, she's got sores. She has open oozing sores on her chest from extended laying down, and then she's got sores on her hips on pressure points from laying down. So this mare's been laying down a lot. That happens over time. That's not like I got cut in the trailer, but I am worried that this mare is in end stage liver failure. We did pull blood so we can confirm, but these guys seem like a really sweet bonded pair, and we're gonna say goodbye to them together.
But in Snowboat's case, he was so severe that collectively we agreed that we had enough evidence base to make the decision for him. We don't like to lightly make those decisions without having further diagnostics to support them. We are highly trained veterinary specialists, but we try to use all diagnostic tools that we have at our fingertips to make the best educated prognosis, diagnosis for the animals that we're treating, just so we're not willy-nilly out there making calls on these animals, because we want to do what's best for them and give them a chance. But his case was so advanced and so severe, and he was so painful that thankfully, in his case, we could make that decision without needing more diagnostics. That's just something we do keep in mind, and we do weigh heavily for these animals, is using all of our diagnostic tools, our physical exam and our diagnostic tests that we can run. But when one of those is taken away from us, we more severely evaluate and contemplate and make sure that we're all on the same page when we make those decisions.
Yeah, this job breaks your heart every case that we lose, but having the objective information, the black and white images, the numbers on a page from our blood work is what helps us feel peace about making those really hard decisions, because it's not an ambiguous, subjective guess about what our patient's prognosis is. In so many cases, it's very black and white, and that's hard, but it's also very helpful. When you have end-stage liver failure, to the extent that your body is building up toxins and it's changing the color of your tissues, it's kind of akin to a chronic alcoholic with liver cirrhosis. We can't do liver transplants in horses. When you have toxins build up in your body, you feel incredibly weak, you feel sick, you feel nauseated. The sequela to that is other like multisystemic organ failure. So this mare, even if we had absolutely every tool in the toolbox to treat her, I don't think she would have survived. Her prognosis was grave, and it really wasn't fair to her to continue trying to treat her when she was in such abysmal shape.
Yeah, and with a heart rate of almost 90 with pain meds on board, that shows you how severely painful she was. If we cannot control her pain, it doesn't matter what other treatments we can do. That horse is chronically living in pain and anguish, and we're supposed to do no harm. So we can't extend her life just because we can. You know, it's not fair to her.